Oh yeah. So this is a tribute to my dad. He passed away just last September, and never really got to say goodbye properly. And this was his passionate place to be. He wanted actually his ashes to be dumped here. Um, I have been out this place in about 45 years. This is where my dad and I used to come racing, and yeah, this is where my dad turned me into man. I was about 14 or so, 13, and he had started this dinghy sailing thing, and he reckoned it would be good for me, and I hated it all. I was scared. It was around the time of Jaws, so like, give me that much. But anyway, he had a debate with my mum, and he said, I'm taking that young fellow out, regardless whether he wants to go or not. And one evening he took me out, and in that one turn, I just went from being terrified to loving it. There was more wind than this. This is just a calm, sloppy old day. It's a good day to reminisce. But Jesus, it ignited a passion in me that I had for nothing else. Nothing. And I tried the basketball and football and all those things, and I just didn't click. This did. And in the early days, we'd go racing and evening racing, and by the time we finished the race, everyone else was gone into shore, packed up, and they had their covers on their boats, and the lights were on the streets. But we persisted, and over time, we actually became good, and then we became very good, and then we were the top of the class. And it was a brilliant, brilliant time. We just loved being out here. It's like as soon as you step on a boat, you're away from the shit on land. And it's all unspoken, of course. But the windier, the better, the more the boat keeled over, the faster. Oh, jeez, the works, everything. And I think it was at one time as well that Dad said he loved me. I'm not sure why. I think I might have been getting into trouble in school or something. He thought I was associated with wrong people and he needs to do something to let me know. So he said it to me right when I was about 14 or 15 down here. No, he never said it since. Suppose he did feed it because once is enough. Jesus. But before me, he had my sister Val, my lovely, lovely sister Val. She passed away a few years ago, and Val was the nicest of the three of us. So there's the two boys, which were sort of a bit special, but Val was a beautiful, loving, giving, kind, sweet person, no matter what was flung at her. Very giving, worked smart, didn't work, she volunteered for the smart, amongst other things. That's a different story, that's for another day. Um, but when Val was about 13, Dad had us down over there where you run aground very easily, and he thought nothing of if she ran aground, Dad tossed her out the back and got her to push through the mud. He'd tell her certain things like, you're doing great now, keep it going, keep it going. And Val had been all into her style and hair and stuff, like wading through in the muck. But he had a funny survival instinct. When we'd capsize, he'd throw me off the boat so that he could get up the side there onto the board, onto the centre board. And he thought nothing of it. He actually used to joke about it afterwards. I'd get tossed to the sea, but he'd stay dry. And that was cool. But he used to crack us up. We'd be walking on the street and he'd bend down and pick up a bloody penny or 2 pence or 5 pence. He'd be delighted. And that cracked us up, but he grew up in the 30s and 40s in the Second World War, and he'd come home from school and his mum be crying that they've no food, so she'd just tell him to go to bed till the next day. So when a person lives and grows up like that, they get a free pass on collecting coins off the streets. Clumsy Davies. Like I said, I haven't been out. I only have this dinghy a short while. I'm not getting the tax quite right, but I've stars in my eyes. Why do you have to go up? But anyway, yeah, so Dad had it tough. But it made him into a very principled man. Very principled. I was So glad to have him. And for him to introduce this to me. I just turned 60 this year. For years and years and years, I never dreamt I'd be able to do anything like this. I have the 2 replacement knees. So I reckon there'd be no chance. But it's grand, it works. I've even out on breezy days. I get the hang of it. But Dad, thank you for everything you've done for me. You've been fantastic. Life's shot you for the last few years when the dementia kicked in, but you got a great run at it. He died 1 week before his 91st birthday. And I loved his inquisitiveness, and he was never doing nothing. He was always doing something. And when he retired, he went from being a very serious businessman to a bloody messer. Absolute advocate for the downtrodden, he thought. And he totally despised RTE. He reckoned RTE should be called Radio Telefiche Áha Clia. Because he said all they did was cover stuff in Dublin. Now there's a ship coming down, I'm in the path, and I need to make sure I don't capsize. Because that would be shitty, but that's the time you do it, baby. But one day I was up visiting them in Cork City, and Jeff, my son, popped in. He was working for a delivery for Daly's tool hire and stuff. And he popped in for lunch as well, and we all had to listen to Dad's rant about Radio Telefiche Áha Clia. They never do anything around other than in Dublin. Dublin this, Dublin that. And then he calmed down for a minute and he said to Jeff, "So Jeff, what are you doing this afternoon?" And Jeff reluctantly said, "Actually, Grandad, I'm delivering a generator for RTE down in the docks. They're filming Ireland's Fittest Family from Cork." Oh, Jesus. We dare not laugh. But it was a bit of a funny one. But he could take a joke, and he gave plenty. And Dad, thanks. I'd never have had all of this without you. And there's something about being on the water and sailing it's raw. When it gets blowing, it's visceral. It's you and the wind and a little bit of danger. Thanks, Dad, for everything. And I don't know if I expressed my appreciation of all the things you did. I'm here with you in soul because this is where you wanted to rest. It didn't happen. But this is where it's okay to say goodbye. Love you, Dad.